Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock, 1400 hours. 17th of April. It's good to be with you here. Welcome to Crypto Decrypted. Absolute blessing. Before we get started, guys, remember the information we discuss in this video is opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. Good afternoon. Welcome to Crypto Decrypted. I'm Ashley Reeve, and it is wonderful to be with you here this afternoon. Let's get ready to push forward. Let's see what's happening. Let's make sure that we understand the updates on what's happening around the world. What's very important for us here in this specific session is obviously to get in tune with some of the cryptos, or at least the cryptocurrency market. It's exclusively brought to you by TDME, TD Markets Exchange, a regulated and licensed platform where we provide all of our clients with the crypto. At least looking from a derivative side, and obviously we'd like to look at some of the technical setups. We have our platform. We've got the TradingView plugin. To those joining for the very first time, a warm welcome to you. All right, let's get ready. Let's push forward. We've got some updates that we need to run here with some of the crypto guys. Maybe look at the timeline there from the US and the Iran so to speak, war. And we want to look at some of, the price movement within the crypto market and what's been happening over there. Our sign-up links are in the chat facility, brought to you by our magical marketing department. And we want to make sure that you guys get in touch. Remember, there's obviously sign-up bonuses. So you can get your hands on 50 ZARK when you register with us. And obviously, as time goes on, we'll be going into a little bit more around that. But we just want to get the guys up to speed with what's been happening in the crypto market itself. All right, especially with the war, the conflict in Iran, and obviously the US bringing it there. So on the platform, you'll see, guys, I've logged into my TDME platform now. Currently, we got the TradingView plugged in. Apologies for that. We have the TradingView plugged in. You can't see it right there. And I've clicked on, obviously, from a dashboard perspective, that's it's a snapshot view of your wallet account, your portfolio, your account activity, your watch list. But we'll be dealing more with the derivative tab here. You'll be, looking at how we can, pay for a much cheaper, less expensive price to get into the crypto market. All right, and that's what this is for, at least the session for today. We want to be and give a constant reminder to our traders that, guys, if you do not have a leveraged trading account, at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty expensive. All right, it's going to be pretty expensive. But with derivatives, you actually enter the market at a much cheaper, more affordable price. And I'm going to get into some of that and show you what that would mean for you as a derivative trader of crypto. All right. But first thing first, let's look at some of the information around the Iranian and the US war there, guys. So, before the war even started, all right, and we're looking at the whole of March here, really. But before the, war even started, let me just go to BTC so you guys can see it right there, all right? So this is the BTC, this is the crypto Bitcoin, all right? Now, I want you to look. This is March. I'm pushing on to March, February. So this is where March started, right here. All right, right here. This is where March started. If I take a vertical line so you can see it. So that's 28, 1st of March. So if I zoom out here, I want to give you context to what's happening. So that's the 1st of March. Now, from the 1st of March, this is the Bitcoin price now, all right? So from the 1st of March, look what happened before. That's already from October last year. So if anyone says to you that Bitcoin, tanked during the Middle Eastern tension, it's not 100% true. Yes, there were dips, absolutely. We went down to, before the conflict actually started, just after Feb, we hit about 63,000 per coin. All right. But before that, we fell from 126,000. So look at that drop from there. All right, let's just do this from there. That's before March. It was already down. And that was due to different reasons. Tariffs was in there. Trump is coming on and he's making sure that he's, really aggressive in terms of what he would like as a president. And so it was already weak. It was already at 66,000 before the war. All right. All prices were rising. Well, at least I'm going to give you the top things that were happening at the time and why that actually happened. Okay. Hold on for me 1 second. All right. So there were a few major things that were actually happening over there. The first thing is Bitcoin fell already before the war. And then the second thing, all prices were rising. And the third thing, interest rate fears were obviously increasing. Now, what was the reason for that? All right. There was a lot of war tensions were building up. The oil going up gave you inflation fears. People are moving away from, higher risk assets. And if you have high inflation, it's not good for crypto. All right. Because remember, high inflation increases the standard of living for citizens, for traders, investors, and so forth. So you're not going to go to anything outside of trying to make things work for themselves. So there was a lot of crypto under pressure from this. We can also look at the end of March now. Now, if I go back to this chart from the first, all right, look at this here. From there. This is April 14th. Let's go to the end of March right here. So 31st of March. All right. I want to give you context before we go into more technicals. So there's 31. So between the 1st of March and the 31st of March, all right, we're seeing that the military tension it obviously rose up. Lots of threats, lots of oil spikes. You guys saw that, all right? Bitcoin dropped again towards the 66,000. Markets, go for risk-off assets. During war, investors will move out of cryptocurrency, okay? Early April comes, which is over here now. We're seeing that, obviously Bitcoin dropping after that. We're seeing the strong U.S. threats against Iran. The market panics once again. Or are we together? Crypto sells off again. So from there, it sells off again. All right. The simplified version is there was more war risk and obviously there was more selling. But then ceasefire happens. All right. That's between the 6th and the 9th of April, roughly around there, the beginning of April. All right. And what this does is it boosts the crypto right there. So let me zoom in. So ceasefire happens and now the crypto is boosted again. All right. Important to note, all the talks of peace started. All right. That's between the 6th and the 9th of April. Oil dropped and Bitcoin jumped obviously towards the 70 mark, which was here around there. All right. Why did it happen? Less risk. Investors are buying again. Short squeezes push the price up. But then the talks fail. Crypto falls again. All right, crypto falls again. Look at that. Crypto falls again. Negotiations failed. Uncertainty returned. Crypto dropped. No peace. Fear returns to the market. Listen to what Ash is telling you here. So when the fear comes, they move out of crypto. All right. Then oil spikes after the blockade, the Hormuz blockade. US blocks key oil route, the Hormuz. Oil surges sharply, and Bitcoin extends its losses. All right, so we had an extension here. Now, what we're noticing is that when oil goes up, inflation goes up. This means the rates will stay high. Crypto drops. That's the correlatory pattern. I'll say it again. Oil goes up, inflation goes up, rates stay high, and the crypto market comes down. All right. Now, mid-April, there's a lot of volatility. Markets are reacting to uncertainty. It's not 100% yet whether we are done with what has happened. Because on the one side, it's yes, we accept, we want to end it. On the other side, there's uncertainty. But what's happening in between that uncertainty is that crypto is moving up and down on a daily basis. That's what you're seeing here. So it's driven more by the headlines instead of actual fundamentals. That's an important point. So in this entire movement here, there was no real backing that, from a cryptocurrency market infrastructure perspective, all right, or regulations. None of that was the reason why we saw this push to the upside. The reason why we saw this push to the upside was because of the oil or the straight, all right, and the headlines, not so much proper backed up fundamentals. So that is the backdrop on which we are going to be looking at some of these here, all right? Jules, I see you there. Good afternoon, all right? That's the backdrop, okay? That's the backdrop on which we will be looking at the technicals on the crypto here. And we'll be looking about 2 or 3 of them here, all right? We're going to start to pick up a pattern. So let's start now with Bitcoin, because obviously we understand what is happening there. So I'm putting on the monthly frame, and I really want you guys to really focus here, all right? If you're here for the very first time, a warm welcome to you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's look at Bitcoin here. Let's put on the weekly frame. All right, this is our interface, guys. You can extend it like this. So reason why I'm looking at the Bitcoin from a weekly perspective is simply because we're trying to find all of the major swings. All right? Trying to find all of the major swings. That is a major swing low. So what has happened here from a Bitcoin perspective, we have pushed from that area over there. The next high, which is extremely high for us at this point, is at 98,000. We're not looking at that high for Bitcoin right now. Okay? So what Ash is going to do here, I'm going to zoom in. When I say zoom in, I'm going to be going inside. So I can get to this area over here. So these are my borders to start off with. But I'm not going to stay there. I'm now going to go inside to find the areas that we need. Okay? So let me do this. Taking it nice and easy here on this Friday, guys. There's my daily. All right, let's see if there's any daily movement. All right, so my support remains the same on the daily. Look at that. My support remains the same. I'm going to go down one more. I'm dealing as an 8-hour frame now. 8 hours. And I want to see if there's anything here. No, there's nothing here yet. On the 8th hour, let's go down 4 hour. The support's remaining the same, guys. All right. So right now, 79. 79, and I'm going to take this off. Why am I taking it off? Because 74, 79 is a very, very big jump. On this side here, I'm going up. And I want to squeeze the price inside, okay? There's another one here for me. Even if I had to go to a 8-hour. Yes. I'm squeezing it in, 64. Right there. All right. Now, let's see if I go to the 1 hour, what else am I working with here? There's the 1 hour. And you can see here that I am actually in a very good position right now. Brilliant position. Okay. Now, what are we aiming for? We're aiming for the price to push up till there, to 79. But there seems to be a bit of a challenge here, and I'm talking short term. All right. I'm talking short term. I'm not referring to anything long term here, guys. Please note what Ash is saying. We're going to go to Ethereum now, but I want us to use BTC as the backdrop, as the example. All right. So right now, at this point in time, we can clearly see there is some form of resistance here. There's a resistance there. Before we get to 79, we're dealing with the resistance here. Now, that resistance is what we want to analyze. How far down could Bitcoin possibly go before we resume to 79? That is what we're dealing with. All right? That is what we're dealing with. So 76 is the resistance. I'm going down now to a 15-minute time frame. And here we still have the same squeeze right there. Look at that. Exactly the same squeeze. Look at that. So 76 resistance, 65,000. So we have to go down further now. I'm going down further. Watch. That's 15-minute. And then here is the 5-minute now. Let's just hope it catches here. Doesn't look like this one is catching. Wow, interesting. Let's see the 1 minute. All right, so the 5 minute, as you guys can see here, there's the touch there. But please watch now. Watch now. I'm going to switch to a line chart. All right. And look at this. So that high there, we've received now. Watch very carefully. That is the swing low. That's a very important thing that I'm mentioning to you now. So from there, all right, to there. Let's make this a little bit thicker. And let's make this red. So that's the first point. That's key. Now, the notice, or at least what I want you to notice, is that is a bounce. We cannot enter here, guys, for any shorts at this moment in time. Let me put back on the candles. Let me go back to my screen, and so you can see. So that right there is a bounce. What we would need here, we would need Bitcoin, before we get a correction, for price to break through that bounce. This area here, even if it breaks below, it doesn't mean we short. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going down. All right? Just because price breaks this area does not mean it's break of structure. Because if it breaks down once on a 5-minute or 15-minute, the hour time frame can still reject. It can reject and close above, and then Bitcoin goes up. You're going to be in a lot of trouble if that has to happen. All right? Especially because now we know the oil price is the driving force at this point in time. It's not cryptocurrency, infrastructure, regulations right now that's driving this. This is the oil price. So if the oil price comes down, more guys are willing to go into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. But if the oil price goes up, they move away from it. All right? That means the dollar strengthens and crypto comes down, or at least Bitcoin in this case would come down. So there's nothing that Ash can do with Bitcoin here. Okay? If I go back to the 4 hour, now you're going to understand when I say that from the 1st of March, which I showed you, all right? Hold on. The 1st of March, we saw price increase, decrease, and then towards the end of March, we saw the Bitcoin price go up. So what I'm saying to you is there could be a possible correction, but the correction has not started yet because we are bouncing on that support there at 73,000. All right, 70,306. 602. So sorry, 73,602. That's what's currently happening at this moment in time. All right. So Bitcoin, we can't do anything right now. Hold on for me, guys. All right, let's go to Ethereum. Let's go see what's happening. If we have a similar, if we have similar movement in Ethereum. Let me take this off. We're going to do exactly the same thing. All right, so there is the monthly. But remember, I'm using weeklies. Okay? I'm not using monthlies. All right, so there we go. So let's go. Let's go into it. Let's go see what is happening here. Same story. I need to squeeze it. And you can already see that there's similarities. You can already see it. Look at that. Remember, oil price is driving this at this moment in time. So if I go down now, look, there's a bounce here. All right. So if I go down daily, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm squeezing price in there. This is, wow. Look at that. That's actually coming down all the way to 3,400. Look at that. All right. Look at that. All right, let's go. Let's go down. 8 hour. Still the same support. Different resistance, squeezing it down. 4 hour, let's see. Nope, that looks like it could be it. So this on the, there we go. That's actually fantastic. Look at that. That's nice. All right, let's go down one more and see if there's anything there. Yep. So the only one that I would move up now that's the bounce. Bounce from that area. All right. And what's important to engage with here now is that there's definitely some upside here. All right. However, like I said to you, there's a resistance that's showing up. There's the resistance that's showing up. All right. So the same thing, exactly the same thing. We are now between that support and that resistance. So if I go down, this one's already created. Look at this, man. This is actually fantastic, guys. There we go. That is the bounce. Just like Bitcoin, it's reached a zone, bounced up a little bit here. We are in between. If you're going to take any trade now, if you take a buy, look, so far we are pushing up. There's recovery. But if you take that buy now and the oil price goes up, Bitcoin, Ethereum can come down. That becomes a bit of a problem for you. That becomes a big... So far, Bitcoin and Ethereum look exactly the same, guys. They look the same. All right. Minor differences in structural development. Let's go back to BTC so you can see it. So it looks very, very similar. The only difference is that's the bounce right there. Exactly, that's the bounce. Ethereum's bounces a little bit further up over there. Bitcoin is here. So that's why please do not be fooled to think that we're going up immediately. Okay, that's very important. The oil price has gone down now, so which means Euro USD up, NZD USD up, USD JPY down. So this is definitely the oil price at this point in time is moving everything, guys. Right now, the oil price went down. We're at $91 per barrel. Okay? But again, it's creating space. All right, so watch this very carefully now. All right, so let me just show you here, and then I'll take it down again. All right, so the great thing about this is I'm integrating now. Okay, I'm integrating. This is what you should be doing. Look at the oil price here. We've now gone down to $91 a barrel. Look at 94. We've come down here. All right. Now, watch with the oil price coming down. That's telling us that some of the other assets are moving up. So look at Euro USD has moved up. NZD USD has moved up. USD JPY has come down. Gold, it's moved up a little bit here. Not enough to break structure. GBP USD has moved up a bit. AUD USD has moved up a bit. All right. USD Swiss franc has moved down, but staying at a support. The point is, with the oil price coming down, that means the dollar is decreasing in strength. That means guys are moving into other assets, including crypto. So let's now go and look at that. Let's go look at whether it's increasing. And we're looking at the hour frame. This is BTC. Look how it's increasing there. Look at that. Look at that. So what's important for you to note about, look at the correlation. Oil price has gone down. BTC has come up. Now, again, even if Bitcoin breaks that resistance, it does not mean we're going up all the way, guys. Because if the oil price comes up again, we're going to see Bitcoin actually push down. Even if it breaks, it can still come down. Okay? So what's going to be important for us to note about what's currently happening? We need the peace talks to calm things down. Why? So that the other assets are not so heavily and aggressively correlated with the oil. That's why we need the peace. Until the peace is there, the assets don't have freedom of movement. They're being forced to move in these different directions. Let's go see what some of the other ones. Let's go to Solana. Let's go see what Solana is doing. Look, Solana is reacting exactly the same. Look at that. The oil price comes down, went into Solana. Look at that. Volumes are increasing here on the MACD. Look at that. Going up. Let's go see if this is happening on Cardano, right? Not so much on this one here. It's not really moving as much. So far it's Bitcoin. It's Ethereum. Hold on, let me just confirm if it's Ethereum, because I know Bitcoin moved. Let's just make sure. Ethereum is not really moving that much. Look at that. It's not that much. But Solana is heavily moved by the oil price here. Oh, see, that's a key point for all the crypto guys that love it. Look, Solana and the oil price. Solana and the oil price. Very, very nice there. Let's go and see what Ripple is doing here. Oh, Ripple's also moving nicely. So Ripple and Solana and BTC is moving with the oil price at this moment in time. That's a very important point. Let's go see what that one is doing now. Let's quickly go back to the MT5 here and see. So Euro USD continuing its push to the upside. Remember, guys, right now there's a lot of stop losses where it's up now. There's a lot of stop losses. There's a lot of stop losses here. USD JPY, lots of stop losses up here. I'll tell you why there's stop losses. Because obviously when price pushed from this area up there, there's a lot of guys that put their stop losses right here. So obviously there's a lot of them that's being triggered at this area over here. But the point that I'm trying to make is, guys, all right, with the oil price going to the downside, like you can see here, it is affecting the cryptocurrency. That's a very, very important point there that you guys need to understand when it comes to crypto. That the crypto is not heavily moved by the fundamentals today, like today or at this moment in time. It is the headlines of the Strait and what's happening in the Middle East with the tension there that's moving this market as well. All right. Other times you're going to see it's because of the new regulations. You're going to see it's because there's, a big whales that have come in to give, lots of injection in terms of inflows. But at this point in time, all right, from a crypto stance, guys, all right, we're still waiting for a lot of the peace negotiations to really, really come down. All right. But if you look at it from a much more medium, and I'm using BTC now, if you look at it from a medium to long-term perspective, what's key for us, let me just go back to the daily so you can see what we will be waiting on is for Bitcoin to break that resistance. That's what we're waiting for. Right now, there's no crypto that's moving in the way we would like it to move. So unless we see the movement in the Middle East, once again, I remind you, if we see the movement in the Middle East come to some form of end, and there's obviously headlines, I can see it right here. All right, there's a lot of headlines to say that negotiations are on the way. But guys, it's weekend again. It's weekend again. All right, and what have we been seeing with our weekends? We've been seeing that there's a lot of things that happen during the weekend, not so much the week. All right, come off a Sunday, the oil price has surged or left the gap. So please, in conclusion for our session here today, guys, please look at the weekend and the breaking news when Trump chats about anything to do with Iran or Iran to do with the US, or look at all of the other parties coming in. Israel or even China or Pakistan or Lebanon was in there as well. So make sure that you look at that over the weekend because it's going to set the tone for Monday. At this point in time on our Friday, we're just seeing a resistance on the crypto at this point in time, guys. The only one that I could really pick up here right now from all the popular ones that let's look at Doge and see what Doge is doing. It's not really moved as much as that of Solana. It's also at resistance. Yes, there's a bit of movement, but Solana has really moved nicely. So this one still has a lot of resistance here to get through. All right. Yes, volumes are picking up. So if I had to rate this one against Ethereum, against Ripple, against Cardano, it would be Solana, and Doge is moving much better. Is moving much better. All right, but please, guys, watch out for the weekend. Let's see how it unravels. At this point in time, crypto market is moving not by regulations at this point in time or any hectic fundamentals on infrastructure or any inflows coming in with investors, but it's really waiting, or at least investors are waiting as they come in gradually. They're waiting for some of the Middle Eastern tension to really die down before they can make a more decisive move into the market. But we're seeing fragments of it coming through. All right. But guys, that's it from Crypto Decrypted. A little bit different to our traditional trading room. It's a little bit more slowed down. Because obviously we're dealing exclusively with crypto, obviously dealing with some of the factors behind the scenes like I did now, but it's not going to be as quick or fast-paced, as of that of the indice market, like your US 30, your NAS 100, or the gold or the silvers, or the major pairs. We are dealing specifically here with what's happening with the crypto market, and we are looking at the fundamental backdrop there to try and give it some context. So at this point in time, really cautious. Let's see how it progresses over the weekend, and we take it from there. And remember, guys, you can inquire from us. We also have it in our chat facility right there. You can visit www.tdmarkets.io if you'd like to sign up with the TDME exchange directly. But that's it from me here, Jules. That's it from me here this afternoon, guys. Friday, 17th of April. We are steamrolling through this specific month as well. All right, but have a good one. Have a good weekend. Watch out for the breaking news, and we take it from there. I'm Ashley Reeve. This is Crypto Decrypted. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm out. Ciao, ciao.